test for Indiana. They shoot 56%, 38 assists. How difficult is that to win that?
It's definitely difficult. I don't think we need it. Definitely difficult, just because when they're playing with that high level of pace and they're making shots and they're making us scramble, putting us in scramble mode defensively, they took full advantage of it, and they made shots tonight, so you got to give them credit. They were prepared for us today, and they made adjustments from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. So we just got to take care of the basketball and also just be ready to be hunted. You know, a lot of teams are coming after us. You kind of see the press or the media kind of calling us legitimate contenders. I don't think it's our time right now to be listening to all that noise. We just got to focus on one game at a time and just get ready for what's ahead of us. You know, a lot of teams are going to be playing their best basketball, and this is that test for us in the season.
You went on a 9-0 run at the outset of the fourth quarter to get your basketball 4 points. So what happened after that? It seemed like they just attacked like that.
We were down by 4 at that point, and then they came out of the timeout and they hit us in the mouth again, and they hit a few threes and from a few guys that we probably need to run off the line, especially at home. They play extremely well at home, and you look at their record, and I think the facts speak for themselves. So tonight, Tyrese wasn't really the main initiator or one of the main scorers, but he did a good job in running the offense, and those guys from the bench came in. We're playing with a good rhythm. Benedict Mathurin hit some good hesitation threes. So the little things really beat us tonight.
Do you think in any way this could be a learning situation for you guys?
Yeah.
And what do you think your biggest takeaway should be?
I think we always try to learn something in wins and losses, but when we have road games like this where we don't play as well as we would like, or we don't have the energy particularly that is required to withstand a few runs from home away teams, or tonight we couldn't withstand Indiana's run after they were up by 4, and then all of a sudden they started creating that separation, which a lot of good teams in our league do. So I give credit to them while also just being aware that still a young group, still a new developing group. Yes, it's good to go on a win streak and have that success, but that doesn't mean shit in the regular season, until we get later down the line and, we're aware of what our seeding is. That's a different mindset and mentality, but right now it's just about incremental progression and taking it game by game. It's not any time to hold our head, but we're well aware of the things we got to work on and consistently do to be a good team in this league.
Hey, Kai, last week we saw that Jalen Brown wearing the until Kai won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, shout out to JB. It's one of my tribal brothers. We've been close for the last few years. And I was just grateful that he took that opportunity to showcase the Kai one. Such a selfless act. And he's such a good brother that is about the revolution. So I shout out to him. And I told him that if they were comfortable wearing for the game, if not, just kind of put him to the side. And I know he had some other shoes that were ready too. So you never know what could happen in the future with us, but I'm glad that he initiated that and made that happen. Me and my tribe are extremely happy, so shout out to JB.
They scored at least 32 points in every quarter. How difficult is it to keep pace with that kind of offense?
I don't think it's difficult if you're playing with the intention to stop them from scoring 30. I think at times they got out in transition, they capitalized off our turnovers and took full advantage of our mistakes.
Yeah, I thought again on the road we cut it to 4. We're in a good seat defensively. We started to give a little bit better effort and give them credit. They were making shots tonight, but then on the offensive end, we just couldn't throw it in the ocean. We had a couple bad shots that took away some of the energy, but we'll learn from it. We'll watch this and we'll get better tomorrow. We have another good team we got to face in Cleveland, but just being able to execute, understanding when you're behind, you have to get the best shot, and we'll look at that and make sure again when Kai is going like that, he's got to be able to touch the ball and be able to make the decision.
They had 38 assists and shot 55% when they moving the ball like that. How difficult is it to stop them?
Yeah. I mean, we had 15 assists, the lowest of the season. And so I think we got to look at that and understand we got to move the ball. I thought Kai and Luka got great looks tonight. Again, Kai in the fourth gets going. We got to get the ball's got to be in his hands going down the stretch there, just to make sure, especially with Luka out, that he's getting the shot or he's making the play for someone else. Again, Luka was getting great looks. Kai was getting good looks, and we had some turnovers in transition too that we just normally haven't had, and so we got to be better with the ball too. We had some turnovers there that we normally don't have.
I was about to ask, 15 turnovers are not extremely high, but some of them were really on time.
Yeah, especially on the break, we get the stop and we throw it away on the break, and then they come back and make a three or get a layup, and so we got to be better with the ball, understanding, being hunted now. When you win 7 in a row, being on the other side of the team that's hunting, now teams are going to try to win every possession. And if for us to be one of the elite teams, we have to understand that and handle that better.
You obviously have 2 elite scorers. Is it important for you to have an established third scorer?
No, I think it's better when you have 4 or 5 guys who can go. Understanding PJ had great looks tonight. I thought Josh had good looks. Timmy has had good looks. We might have to try to get him better looks, but he's had some looks that just haven't gone down here of late. We got to get him going. But he's been one of the guys that's scored for us. Josh is scoring, and so again, PJ, Josh, or D Live or Gap, our centers, being able to play the pick and roll and get the lob or offensive rebounds for those guys too.
Turner kind of got away from you guys, especially in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Is that a case of you've got two big guys? Maybe they're not used to guarding guys who can put it on the floor.
Yeah, I think Haliburton causes a problem. Driving, you're trying to protect the rim. He does a great job of finding or dumping off. But I thought when you look at Turner and his ability to short roll, or when someone drives, he kind of finds his way at the top of the key or at the top of the 3-point line, and he was wide open tonight. And so we have to be better.
They hit 5 threes during that decisive run there in the fourth quarter. How difficult is it to chase them off the 3-point line?
Yeah, they're good. And again, with their pace and being able to drive it, put it on the floor, you have, 4 guys out there who can definitely drive it and cause a problem. So this will be something that we look at. We don't face this a lot of times, so this is a good test for our defense, and we know we can be better. But tonight, our offense, didn't capitalize on a lot of opportunities.